Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This week we are reading The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. I had a friend get this book for me. I've been meaning to read it. She recommended it to me. She said she liked it. And I thought it'd be fun to do it together, especially because this is one of those that I've seen a lot about on TikTok. So I think there's a good chance a lot of you guys have read it and you might want to hear my thoughts about it, or you're just thinking about it. If you've watched me for a while, whenever I do a reading vlog, I like to dress up. Bare Bones in the Midnight Swill by V.E. Schwab. I dressed up like a vampire. Well, I dressed goth, but like goth is adjacent to vampire in my mind. I read The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt, dressed up dark academia. I looked at some fan art for this book because I couldn't really like nail down the vibe. I was getting like cozy fantasy, cottagecore, Hobbits in the Shire vibe. So this is what I did. We'll see if this vibe is accurate throughout the book. It probably won't be. But you know what? That's okay. It is what it is. So I know nothing about this book. Really. The only thing that I know about it is that it's just gay enough to make evangelical Christians uncomfortable. Not gay enough that actually queer people are like super enthusiastic about it. Cause like my friend is, she was like, yeah, it was a little gay. So we'll see. We'll see. Without any further ado, let's get started. I also, every time I see the title of this, I always think that C is a G. I don't know why. So my house is like the house in the Cerulean Sea. Okay. Chapter 1. Okay, right off the back, it's giving me Miss Peregrine's Home for Unusual Children. Whatever the actual title of that book series is, that's the vibe it's giving me immediately. Okay, so we have sentient animals. I think I'm like reading this and I'm immediately like, oh, this is a bureaucrat who's been doing the same job for 20 years and it's just kind of like, let me check the boxes and move on and I'm home by 5. And the, I guess, master of the orphanage just called the main character optimistic. He responds, I am positively a ray of sunshine. Flatly. Okay. Department in charge of magical youth? Interesting, okay. That's a little dystopian that magical people are tracked by the government. Now you've gone and done it, old boy. She'll send you hundreds of questions. I can still hear you, the master said through the door. That's funny. Okay. Selkie. I love a Selkie. I like the characters we've set up so far. One thing about me, I like character-driven stuff. If I'm not attached to the characters, I do not care. I love how like cartoonishly evil the department is. His cat's name is Calliope. That's so cute. How do I look? Like you have no idea what you're doing. That's fun. You know, this kind of reminds me of T. Kingfisher. I'm not sure. I think it's just the writing style. It's very T. Kingfisher. Like, the person for the job is just kind of the most mundane. Just everyday person. Classified level 4. This has like a very specific vibe to it, and it's like very like stuck within the vibe. Like cartoonishly evil workplace, cartoonishly bureaucratic hierarchical system. Like we don't just have upper management, we have extremely upper management. Think of it as a mandatory promotion. Sounds like quite the existential crisis. Perhaps consider having it somewhere else. I love that the elderly neighbor is trying to set him up with her grandson. That's so funny. And that is absolutely how like boomers are once they find out that you're gay and they know another gay person. They're like, oh, you guys would be perfect together. It doesn't matter that you're the only gay person I know. Of course, assuming that they're accepting, but... What do you mean we're dealing with the Antichrist here? What do you mean? I really like, what is her name? Ms. Chapelwhite. She is like the most fairy-like person. Fairy-like character to be called a fairy. Oh, the wyvern. I love a wyvern. He's so pooky. All the children so far, all of them are feral. Why do I feel like this kid is just trying to scare the shit out of Linus? This reminds me very specifically of another book I read a really long time ago, but I can't remember what it was called. The only thing that I think maybe kind of comes close is Gail Carson Levine, but still. It is funny because they are like... You think like Linus lives in a magical world. He's used to seeing magic stuff happen all the time. And whereas like all of this is new to the reader, so I'm reading this and I'm like, oh yeah, we have a wyvern, we have a gnome, we have a sprite, we have a weird gelatinous creature that reminds me of Bob from Monsters vs. Aliens. But Linus is like appalled by it. Because like that's where his frame of reference is. But they're just little children. Just little guys. This report is really funny. There's something about him, Mr. Parnassus. It's because he's hot. He's making no secret about the fact that he's flirting with you, Linus. I have some world building questions. So, the sentence, there were encyclopedias and novels and nonfiction books about Greek gods and goddesses and the scientific names of flora and fauna. So does this take place on Earth? In our history? What year is it? I have questions. I don't think it's that type of book. I don't think I can look too closely at it, but... Why is he so scared of Lucy? Like, he's just a kid. He's clearly just leaning into the devil thing. Like, children do not talk like that. He's rehearsing things he's heard. The Magna Carta, so this... Interesting, okay. It's interesting because, like, it doesn't seem like there's technology, but there's magic, obviously. And there's also, like, the weird hierarchical bureaucracy. Okay, so the music references do give me a good idea of what time period this is. We'll say contemporary. That is really funny that this kid is like, I'm morbid and I love dead things and I'm very goth, and he just likes music that is written by dead people. Which is like the most mundane thing, but the way he interprets it, that's really funny. Philosophy? We're teaching the devil ethics? Arthur is just unashamedly flirting with Linus, and the implication that the last caseworker, that they were involved. I like that this is his strategy to like keep his orphanage together. It's just to flirt with the caseworkers. Like, that is funny. And you know what? He's succeeding. He's having great success. You know, he's 2 for 2. That Parnassus too, queer fellow if there ever was one. You don't say, buddy boy. You don't say. This is so funny because this is exactly how my sister and I would like design games together when we were probably elementary school. Like, it's just insane premise that doesn't really go anywhere. And what if the treasure was the friendships we solidified along the way? Arthur asked. Lucy pulled a face. That's the worst treasure in the world. They were already my friends. I want rubies. He's not wrong. This is literally just so wholesome. Oh my god. Okay, so I'm a little over halfway in. And you know, I figured out that this is mostly a romance. Like, yeah, the fantasy elements are there, but it's mostly a romance between Arthur and Linus, which is fine. But that means now I'm expecting a third act breakup, though. Since it is a series, I actually don't know if this is supposed to be a standalone or if it's supposed to be a series, so I'm scared about that. I do love all the children. I will say I am halfway through. I feel like Arthur is some sort of magical adult. I feel like the fact that he always seems to know where everyone is and what everyone's doing on the island, that has to mean something. And I feel like the fact that he can speak the gnome language, he can speak Wyvern, I feel like he can do something else. Like, I feel like he's some sort of magical creature, and that's why he's been put in charge of this house of at-risk children, basically. It's because he has experience dealing with them. I don't know how Linus can't tell that Arthur's so clearly flirting with him. Like, that has to be a conflict of interest if he's as dedicated to his job as he says he is. I do love that Calliope the cat just has decided she's happy at the island. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Linus just leaves her there. Because she seems happier than she was at the house. Or maybe she is just expressing what Linus does not have in himself to express. These children are so freaking feral. I just got through the section where they're in the garden shop. And oh my god, they have I can't even tell if they just have no sense of like what is appropriate to say in public or if they're doing it on purpose. Like, it's so funny. You know what? Of course Lucy is like into rock and roll. I bet the metalheads love him. You know, the more I think about it, there are so many parallels in this book between, like, being magic and the queer experience. Which I know was 100% intentional, but... like, especially the religion part with Lucy, like... You can pick out 2 flavors, nothing more. You don't want to spoil your appetite for dinner. Yes, I do. I want to spoil it so bad. Oh my god. I thought I was a menace as a little child. Arthur just said you should be more worried about what I'm capable of. Arthur's gonna pull out a gun. Arthur grew up on the island, okay. I like how Fee, her first question is, Arthur was a child? Yep. That's how you know it's a child. It's because they think their parents have just always been their parents. Oh, I love Helen. I love Helen so much. This is such, like, clearly a metaphor about the queer experience. Like... oh, and Arthur's flirting with Linus again. Oh my god. I freaking knew it. I didn't comment on this, but I do remember the throwaway line about a phoenix earlier on. Kind of feel like the book thinks I'm stupid and has to remind me of that. Like, I think that is my one complaint with this book so far, is it feels like it's really hammering in the, like, thematic elements. As if I haven't been paying attention for the last 300 pages. I don't know, I'm also used to reading fantasy, and I feel like this is fantasy for people who are just starting to read fantasy, if that makes sense. So maybe you need to make those type of concessions to keep people feeling like they've got a hold of the plot. I'm sorry, I know the whole point is that Linus is supposed to be opening his mind to magic, and he's supposed to be finding a home. But I do not believe that this man was chosen for this job because he's so remarkably objective. Like, this man is remarkably involved. Arthur has barely had to try. Arthur is laying it on so thick. Like, Linus has to be like, stop flirting with me. And why is Arthur like, you're going back? Why would you go back? It's his freaking job. He has a house. Welp. That feels like a third act breakup. Man, I love a good mob. I love a good mob. Pitchforks. This is so on the nose. Even the salt bridge is on the nose. I'm waiting for the... What's his name? Warner? Let me see. Charles Warner. Yeah. I'm waiting for him to come back. Because he's gonna make problems. This is really sweet. I'm waiting for it to get ruined. God, this is so cheesy. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really get why Zoe and Arthur are so pissed off that Linus is leaving. Like, Arthur hasn't even made some big romantic gesture towards Linus. It hasn't been like they are in love and they're in a relationship and, you know, why are you abandoning me? It's just, this is your home now, why are you leaving? He's been there a month. He's been there a month. He has to go turn in his report. He has a house. He can't just, like, it doesn't make sense. It feels like a problem that shouldn't be a problem. Like, if they were like, you should come and visit us. You will always have a place for you. And Linus was like, I'm never coming back. That I would understand. But like, he has to, at bare minimum, go home and get his stuff out of his house. Linus just went, now listen here. Listen here, I've had a change of heart. I've had a coming of age. Let me give you the business. And you know what? Good for him. Love that he's, you know, taken a truly gay path to become a social justice warrior. Oh, that's so sweet. Okay, that's cute. That's cute. I'm almost done with it. I still don't totally understand the conflict. Lucy threw up his hands. I don't know why you don't just kiss him and get it over with. Adults are so dumb. Yes, that is what we are all thinking, Lucy. Adults are very dumb. That's so cute. Aww. That's so cute. Okay, I finished it. First things first, that was very cute. Just very cute and wholesome. Found family. Feral children. I'm glad that I read it. I will say, I got very annoyed, especially near the end, with the way the author was basically spoon-feeding you the plot. Like, everything was being explained, all the foreshadowing, all the symbolism. You did not need to explain that. I was picking up on it. And I talked to my friend who got me this book, who recommended it to me, and she had the exact same experience, how she felt like the author was over-explaining things. And she does not read very much. She's not a big reader. Like, at least not the way that I am. And even then, like, compared to a lot of other people, I don't read that much. And she has also not read much fantasy, which is another thing. So, it is cute and is worth reading. But I'm not sure. It feels very standalone. I'm not sure I'll read the other books. Because, like, I did enjoy it, but I think I'm happy with just one book. I will say, if you just want some very basic cozy fantasy, this is a good recommendation. And if you want to get into fantasy but you're intimidated by it or you don't know where to start, this is also a good way to get into it. I didn't think the world building was that great. It was way more focused on the characters and their relationships than it was on, like, building a magic system or even making the department in charge of magical youth make sense. So don't look at it too closely. It's just supposed to be fun, which is fine. A lot of books are like that. I feel like now that I'm at the end, my costume for this video kind of makes sense. I would just be a sprite. And I'm gonna go grow a tree now. So, yeah. I don't know what I'm gonna rank this. It may be 3.5 stars. Because I did really like it, but there were some times I was really, really annoyed. Like, his mouse pad, the like, don't you wish you were here, that turning into a don't you wish you were with Arthur and the kids near the end. Like, they repeated that so many times. I'm like, I get it. I get what you were doing with that. You don't have to, like, hammer it in. That was fun. Thank you guys for tagging along. Let me know if there are any other books that you think I would like that you'd like to have a reading vlog of. I'd love to share them with you. Leave a like on this video, leave a comment, let me know what you're up to, let me know what you're reading. You can also subscribe, come hang out, we have fun here. I post new videos every Wednesday afternoon. If you want to see more of me, I also have a TikTok and a Fable that I occasionally post on. Those will be in the description. Other than that, I'll see you guys next week. Bye!